Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers. Shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good? So check it out. Um, when I started this platform, the whole point was for me to take the everyday interactions and interfacing that we do just as regular people with, each other as we cross paths, just going about our normal everyday shit. And when I started this platform, I knew that it was going to be a broad focus on pretty much any and everything that you could possibly deal with, from day to day, whether it be pertaining to relationships, whether it be work shit, funny shit, serious shit, spiritual shit, whatever. And the whole point of it was this was the vision. When we're in a moment, in an experience, whatever that moment, that experience is, in that moment, you always miss shit. It's just the way it is. And then immediately after that moment is over, and then every moment after that, you look back, when you get in that introspective and reflective state. And it's always like, damn, I could have did this, or I could have said that, or, whatever. And that's how we learn. That's how we grow. It's the hindsight. They say hindsight is 2020. That's because when you're looking back at a situation, you have this immediate, for most people anyway, this immediate moment of clarity pertaining to that situation. The problem with that is, as we all do that in our own individual, unique ways, it creates a lesson for us going forward. Problem is, that moment is fleeting because when you're in that introspective and reflective moment, whatever is coming to you, you might internalize it and it helps you, and that's good for the individual. But my vision was I want to capture those moments of clarity. I want to record those moments forever in time so that the people who come through my platform, the people who listen to my podcast and who listen to the reflections that I have about shit and how I internalize and then interpret and then regurgitate what that internalization was. I feel like that's what's going to help us better understand each other. The first step is understanding yourself, but then immediately after that, we have to learn how to better understand each other. And that's the only way to get the interconnected and interwoven web of life and relationships and everything that all those things encompass, to a more progressive state. And that's why I do this. And that's why I created this channel. And that's why I created my podcast platforms. And people ask me, how come the majority of your shit on your YouTube platform is audio only? And there's times when I do video, actual video vlogs, but I noticed typically pertains to, trolls and people who just go through different YouTube content, and not just my channel, everybody's channel, and they comment ignorant shit or they pick out different shit that they don't like just to, do whatever it is they do. But I realize my platform is very content heavy. That's why it's subscriber driven, of course, because the more people that get the message, the better, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's not really subscriber driven. It's not about the number of subscribers or the number of people who listen to my content. It's about the message you take from it. It's very content heavy. And when I do actual video vlogs, I would notice that the message would be lost in translation because when you have all these visual distractions, people aren't necessarily listening to the message as much as they would if it was just an audio, and you got to create the visual in your head that keeps that visual that you're creating restricted to the message that you're hearing. And so that's why I don't do a lot of video type vlogs, although I do some of them. They're far and few in between. But that's, pardon me, that's really the reason for that. And pardon me, I'm a little bit under the weather still, but I got to get this content out. And I got a few movie reviews coming. I just did one on Annabelle. Still got to edit that and put that out there. And then I'm gonna do it also. And then I got another podcast I got to do for y'all. Um, but I just wanted to come through real quick, answer a few questions I've been getting. Um, I'm just gonna do what I do. Like every YouTuber who creates content has their own lane. Every YouTuber who creates content has their own vision for what their platform is gonna be. And I'm about the message. I'm about the content that I come here. It's not about the editing for me. It's not about the different visuals and quality. And I don't do reviews about like electronics and shit like that to where it's geared toward the imagery and the different equipment and all of that. It's just real shit from person to person. The title of my channel, of my podcast platform, of my platform in general, of my overall brand is life, relationships, and everything in between. So it's focused on the shit that we think about and have to deal with every day, but don't necessarily talk out loud about. And that's the point. My perspective is not necessarily any different from anybody else's. It's just that most people, when they're in those moments, they don't have anything to play back, to compare and to contrast with, what I'm saying, what they're feeling and thinking from the next person. So when I come through to talk to y'all, it's meant to be a comparison, contrast type of thing where y'all can say, okay, I went through that situation. This is how I felt about it, and I feel what you feel about it. This is where my opinion differs, or whatever the case. It's about the discussion. It's about us coming together and having the discussion. Because I say it all the time, I don't pretend to know everything, and all of my points of view is not meant to be necessarily agreeable on every, on across every aspect and every facet of whatever the topic is. It's meant to start a discussion so that we could just come together to understand each other better. Anyway, just wanted to stop through and let y'all know that. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, the bigger we grow this community, I feel like the better off all of us are going to be. Because it's all real shit on my channel. And whether you like it, love it, or hate it, you can't disagree with the fact that the shit that I do talk about is shit that we live every day. However you see it, however you internalize it, however you perpetuate it, however you shape that into whatever vision you have for the path that you walk. The shit that I'm talking about is still applicable in everybody's lives. Whatever walk of life you come from, whatever your culture is, whatever your background is, whatever you do for a living, whatever mold or categorization you fit yourself into. The shit that I talk about on this platform is real, and it's always going to be that. And I won't always be right, and you won't always agree, but I'm going to always be real, and I'm going to always give it to y'all straight with no chaser. And I definitely don't pretend to know everything, but I just know what I know. And I put that back out into the world so that we can all compare our wisdom and our knowledge so that we can all get smarter. Let me know what y'all think of this one. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and love.